Welcome to another tutor short provided by the Educational Support Services Department at Lehigh Carbon Community College in Schnecksville, PA, just outside Allentown. These video cover key concepts for math and other math-based courses here at L-Tri-C. Please remember that the Educational Support Services Department does provide walk-in tutoring 5 days a week in math and other subjects. This tutor short video will cover solving linear equations part 2 using the distributive property and variables on both sides of the equation. When you're solving linear equations, there are a few basic steps you go through every time. The first thing, you ask yourself, are there any grouping symbols in my equation? These can be parentheses or brackets. If you have parentheses or brackets, you need to distribute to get rid of them. The second thing you look for, are there like terms on the same side of the equation? Then if there are, combine all like terms on each side of the equal sign. Check the left side and the right side. Then you look to see, are there variables on both sides of the equation? You want to move them all to one side using inverse operations. Doesn't matter if you move them all to the left or if you move them all to the right, you want to move them all to the same side. Once you get all of your variables together, then you go to step 4 and solve the equation. Our first example is 2 times the quantity 3x plus 4 equals 38. So do I have grouping symbols? Yes, I need to distribute my 2. Make sure you distribute it fully through everything in the parentheses. We get 6x plus 8 equals 38. Do I have like terms on either side of the equal sign? I have an x term and a constant term on the left, a constant on the right. So the answer to that is no. Do I have variables on both sides? No, I don't, so I can just solve for x now. This is a two-step equation. Subtract 8 from both sides. I get 6x equals 30. Divide both sides by 6. X equals 5. Our second example, 9 times the quantity x plus 2 minus 7 equals 38. Again, look for grouping symbols first. I have them. I need to distribute my 9. So I get 9x plus 18 minus 7 equals 38. Looking for like terms on each side of the equal sign. On the left, I have an x term and 2 constant terms, so I want to combine my constants. So 9x, 18 minus 7 is going to be plus 11 equals 38. I don't have variables on both sides, so now I can use inverse operations to solve. Subtract 11 from both sides. 9x equals 27. Divide both sides by 9. X equals 3. Our next example, 5 minus 2 times the quantity x minus 4 equals 19. So a lot of times when you look at a problem like this, the first thing you may want to do is 5 minus 2, but that is wrong. We need to start by saying, do I have parentheses? Do I have a grouping symbol? We do, so we need to take this negative 2 and distribute it in. So I get 5, negative 2 times x is minus 2x. Negative 2 times negative 4 is a positive 8 equals 19. Look for like terms. 5 plus 8 is going to give me 13. I don't have variables on both sides, so using inverse operations, I solve. Negative 2x equals 6. Divide by negative 2. X equals negative 3. 3 minus the quantity negative 4x plus 2 equals 17. We can pretend that this right here is plus a negative 1. And since I have my grouping symbols, my negative 1 has to go in. So we get 3. Negative 1 times negative 4x is a positive 4x. Negative 1 times positive 2 is minus 2 equals 17. Combine like terms. 4x, 3 minus 2 is 1. Subtract 1 from both sides. 4x equals 16. Divide by 4. X equals 4. Next example is 5x plus 2 equals 6x minus 1. If I look at it, I don't have grouping symbols this time. I don't need to distribute. So then I check for like terms on each side of the equation. I have an x term and a constant on both sides, so I don't have to do anything with that. But I do have variables on both sides of the equation. I have 5x on the left, 6x on the right. I need to move them all to the same side. I'm going to move my 5x to the right with my 6x. To do that, I'm going to subtract 5x from both sides. That way these cancel, just like if I was moving the constant over. So now I have 2 equals 6x minus 5x is 1x, or just x, minus 1. Add 1 to both sides. 3 equals x, or if you prefer, you can say x equals 3. One half x plus 1 equals negative 3x minus 13. No grouping symbols, no like terms on the same side of the equal sign. I do have x's on both sides. I'm going to add 3x to both sides, that way I can get rid of that pesky negative sign. I could move the 1/2 to the other side, but then I'd have a negative answer. So I have to do 1/2 plus 3. Well, we could say that's 3.5x plus 1 equals negative 13. But I don't want to work with 3.5. I can say this is 1/2. 3 as a fraction is going to be 6 over 2. 1/2 plus 6/2 is 7/2 x plus 1 equals negative 13. You could also look at 3 and 1/2 and say 3 times 2 is 6 plus 1 is 7 over 2. However you want to convert your mixed number into an improper fraction. Now I can subtract 1 from both sides. 7 over 2x equals negative 14. And then to undo multiplying by 7/2, I multiply both sides by 2/7. And I can put my negative 14 over 1. And I get x equals negative 14 times 2 divided by 7. Well, 14 and 7 I can reduce to 2 and 1. So now this is negative 2 times 2 is negative 4 over 1 times 1 is 1, or just negative 4. Next example, 2 times the quantity 3x plus 4 equals 9 times the quantity 2 plus x minus 7. So step 1, do we have grouping symbols? Yes, we do. We actually have 2 sets, so we need to distribute. So I get 6x plus 8 equals 18 plus 9x minus 7. Look for like terms on each side of the equal sign. On the left, I have an x term and a constant. On the right side, I have a constant, an x term, and a constant. So I can combine the constants. 6x plus 8 equals 9x 18 minus 7 is 11. Now I need to get all of my variables to one side of the equation. So I'm going to subtract 6x from both sides. Or I could have subtracted 9x. But again, I like to avoid negatives if I can. 9x minus 6x is 3x. Now I subtract 11 from both sides. Negative 3 equals 3x. Divide by 3. X equals negative 1. Our last example, 2 times the quantity x plus 3 minus 5 times the quantity x minus 4 equals 2 times the quantity 2x plus 1 minus the quantity 2x minus 1, or plus 1. So lots of grouping symbols, so lots of distributing. And again, this is really plus a minus 1, and then that minus 1 has to go in. So now we have 2x plus 3 minus 5x plus 20 equals 4x plus 2 minus 2x minus 1. So that was step 1 with our grouping symbols. Step 2, combine like terms on each side of the equal sign. On the left side, 2x and negative 5x makes negative 3x. This 3 should have been a 6. There's an example of what not to do. 6 plus 20 makes 26 equals 4x and negative 2x make 2x. 2 and a negative 1 make 1. Now I want to move all my x's to one side. So I'm going to move my 2x this time. So negative 5x plus 26 equals 1. Subtract 26. Negative 5x equals negative 25. Divide by negative 5. X equals 5. If you follow those 4 steps, they can get you through just about any linear equation that you need to solve.